One of my biggest frustrations as a black Trump supporter is that I look at my fellow blacks and I wonder how somebody can still buy the Democrat narrative of what this country is. It's frustrating. You would think with, years of the same policies, producing no results in our inner cities, with the way that politicians on the left talk down to people of color. And we have Hillary Clinton going to a church and then she does that fake Southern black accent, or you have Biden saying that, if you don't know who you're voting for, you're not black. They're constantly condescending and belittling black people, yet black people vote for Democrats over 90% of the time. And part of this is that the media creates this perception of this racist white America that's laying right there. And if, we lower our guard just a little bit, we're going to go back to the Jim Crow South. And I mentioned Biden saying, if you don't know who you're voting for, you ain't black. He's also the guy who said they want to put you back in chains. So that's the mindset that the Democrats and the media have, is that they're trying to convince black people you're going to be back right where you started if you vote for Republicans or if you don't vote for Democrats. Now, they're trying so hard to create this perception of this racist white America that they, go along with hoaxes or perpetuate hoaxes. We have Justice Smollett in Chicago with the fake MAGA stuff. We have the fake news with Bubba Wallace. We have the Charlottesville incident where Trump said, I don't support the white supremacists and the neo-Nazis. They should be condemned completely. But of course, the media lied about what he said and said that he actually condoned white supremacy and Nazism and all that. So this is a pattern where the media is working overtime to keep up that perception of racism on the right and Trump supporters being racist. And it hangs by a thread, albeit a very, very strong thread. And that was kind of the threat that Trump posed, was that he was the first Republican president to say, what do you have to lose by voting for me? Nothing's gotten better in your communities for the last several decades. You keep voting Democrat, nothing changes. Why not take that chance and give me your vote? And that scared the hell out of the left, because if just 10% more black people voted Republican, it would be a huge problem electorally for Democrats. But we're starting to see, I wouldn't say that this facade is dropping or they're losing control of it, but they're doing more and more reckless things to try to maintain this illusion. And today we see in Virginia in the governor's race where these fake white nationalists show up to try to make the Republican candidate look like a white supremacist. And it's so over the top and ridiculous because it's disproven so fast. You would think that this would damage the whatever his name is, Terry McAuliffe campaign. But does it? How effective is this propaganda? And unfortunately, it is fairly effective. Now, I'm hoping, and we're all hoping, that maybe this just jumps the shark where it makes them look so bad and everybody realizes that it's garbage. Yet when you go on Twitter, you see people on the left, promoting this, and they get a lot of likes. Now, of course, it's Twitter, so that doesn't necessarily reflect reality, but there is still that bubble on the left there where they fall for this garbage, which is why we have to make sure that we're full press, making sure that we spread the word, we retweet these things, and expose this garbage for what it is. Because their entire position, their entire worldview is a house of cards that they're frantically trying to maintain. And us on the right, us Trump supporters, us conservatives, we have to chop it down, while at the same time not falling for their traps. And we have Tucker Carlson with this coming series of videos on January 6th, and the left is freaking out because, as we're finding out, there was much more knowledge and involvement by the FBI and federal law enforcement. And they have to maintain this idea that this was a thing that was perpetuated by Trump supporters who wanted to tear this country down and overthrow our government. Again, it's a false narrative they created, and they have to protect. Tucker Carlson is helping to knock that narrative down, so they're freaking out and attacking him. So they have to maintain their narratives. We have to knock them down. And at the same time, we have to make sure we don't fall for the traps. And January 6th was a trap for Trump supporters. And unfortunately, some of us walked into that trap and got caught in it. Now, again, the FBI was involved in it, but we still fell for that trap. So that's their goal, or that's their objective moving forward, is to bait us on the right into doing things that make us look bad so they can create their propaganda against us. Because they don't have a white racist Trump supporter to actually go after. That doesn't exist. So they have to create it. They have to build this narrative of what we are. And now we have to fight that narrative and to knock it down at every chance we got. Because coming up in 2022 and 2024, it should be a landslide for us. But they're going to work double time to build these phony narratives and to make us look like white supremacist idiots. And even if that means taking someone like the Proud Boys, who have members who are African American or black, and then call them white supremacists. That's how insane the left is, and there is no limit to what they will do and say to slander us. So be aware of it, expose it, and don't fall for their traps. That's it for now. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.